Celebrating the lives of influential people is an important way to remember them, not least of all for their achievements and body of work. Unfortunately, in little more than a decade we have lost some great minds and talented souls. Paul Walker. Paul William Walker was an American actor. He died in a car crash in 2013, aged 40. He is best known for his role as Brian O'Connor in the Fast and the Furious film franchise. Paul Walker began his career as a child actor in the 1980s, gaining recognition in the 1990s after appearing in the television soap opera The Young and the Restless. He received praise for his performances in the teen comedy She's All That and the comedy drama Varsity Blues. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman was an English actor and director, known for his distinctive deep, languid voice. Alan became a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, performing in modern and classical theatre productions. He died in 2016, aged 69. He died of pancreatic cancer and did not reveal his illness to anyone other than his closest family and friends. Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher was an American actress and writer. She died of a heart attack in 2016, aged 60. Most famous for her role as Princess Leia in Star Wars, she was praised for her frank admissions regarding addiction and mental illness. Debbie Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds was an American actress, singer, and businesswoman. She died in 2016 at 84 years old, the day after her daughter, Carrie Fisher, died. She had a stroke. An actor for decades, she starred in Singin' in the Rain and How the West Was Won. Her career spanned almost 70 years. She was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Most Promising Newcomer with her portrayal of Helen Kane in the 1950 film Three Little Words. Luke Perry. Luke Perry was an American actor. He died of a stroke in 2019, aged 52. He became a teen idol for playing Dylan McKay on the Fox television series Beverly Hills 90210 from 1990 to 1995, and again from 1998 to 2000. He also starred as Fred Andrews on the CW series Riverdale. Robin Williams. Robin Williams was an American actor and comedian. Known for his improvisational skills and the wide variety of characters he created on the spur of the moment and portrayed on film, in dramas and comedies alike, he is regarded as one of the greatest comedians of all time. He committed suicide in 2014, aged 63. Lauren Bacall. Lauren Bacall was an American actress. She was named the 20th greatest female star of classic Hollywood cinema by the American Film Institute and received an Academy Honorary Award from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in 2009 in recognition of her contribution to the golden age of motion pictures. She died in 2014, aged 89, due to a stroke. She was prolific in her acting and had starred in The Big Sleep and How to Marry a Millionaire. Anthony Borden. Arguably one of the most prolific deaths of 2018, Anthony Borden committed suicide at the age of 61. A celebrity chef, he had participated in a large number of television shows and had also written a number of books. He starred in programs focusing on the exploration of international culture, cuisine, and the human condition. David Bowie. David Bowie was an English singer, songwriter, musician, and actor. David Bowie died in 2016, aged 69. He died from liver cancer. His musical career had lasted half a century, and he was one of the most iconic musicians of the 20th century. He was acclaimed by critics and musicians, particularly for his innovative work during the 1970s. His career was marked by reinvention and visual presentation, and his music and stagecraft had a significant impact on popular music. Peter Fonda. Peter Fonda was an American actor. He was the son of Henry Fonda, younger brother of Jane Fonda, and father of Bridget Fonda. He was a prominent figure in the counterculture of the 1960s. He died in 2019, aged 79, from lung cancer. He was nominated for Academy Awards for Easy Rider and Ulee's Gold, and was a big part of the counterculture movement. Tony Curtis. Tony Curtis was an American actor whose career spanned 6 decades, achieving the height of his popularity in the 1950s and early 1960s. He acted in more than 100 films, in roles covering a wide range of genres. In his later years, Curtis made numerous television appearances. He died in 2010, aged 85. He died from an asthma attack, brought on by the condition chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. He starred in Some Like It Hot and Spartacus. Etta James. Etta James was an American singer who performed in various genres, including gospel, blues, jazz, R&B, rock and roll, and soul. She died in 2012, aged 73. She died of leukemia. She is best remembered for her songs At Last and Something's Got a Hold on Me. Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen was a Canadian actor and comedian. He died in 2010 from pneumonia, aged 84. With a career spanning 60 years, he appeared in more than 100 films and 150 television programs, portraying more than 220 characters. He is most well known from his appearances in the Naked Gun series of films. Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple was an American actress, singer, dancer, and diplomat, who was Hollywood's #1 box office draw as a child actress from 1934 to 1938. Later, she was named United States Ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia, and also served as Chief of Protocol of the United States. Shirley Temple died in 2014, aged 85. She died from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin was an American singer, songwriter, and pianist. Referred to as the Queen of Soul, Rolling Stone twice named her as the greatest singer of all time. With global sales of over 75 million records, Franklin is one of the world's best-selling music artists. She died in 2018, aged 76. She had a pancreatic tumor. She is best remembered for her songs Respect, Think, and I Say a Little Prayer. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor was a British and American actress. She died in 2011, aged 79. She died from congestive heart failure. A Hollywood legend, she was just as famous for her life off-screen as she was for her acting. She began her career as a child actress in the early 1940s and was one of the most popular stars of classical Hollywood cinema in the 1950s. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was an American actor. He died in 2014, aged 46, from a drug overdose. He had appeared in numerous films for over 2 decades. Known for his distinctive supporting and character roles, eccentrics, lowlifes, underdogs, and misfits. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was an American singer and actress. She died in 2012, aged 48. She had drowned. She will be remembered mostly for her catalog of songs, as well as the 1992 film The Bodyguard. She is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 220 million records sold worldwide. Avicii Tim Bergling committed suicide in 2018, aged 28. The Swedish DJ had retired from touring 2 years prior, citing health problems. At age 16, Bergling began posting his remixes on electronic music forums, which led to his first record deal. He rose to prominence in 2011 with his single Levels. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse was an English singer and songwriter. She died from alcohol poisoning in 2011, aged 27. She had enormous success with her songs, notably Rehab, Valerie, and Back to Black. She was known for her deep, expressive contralto vocals. Alexander McQueen. Alexander McQueen is a British luxury fashion house founded by designer Alexander McQueen in 1992. Its current creative director is Sarah Burton. He committed suicide in 2010, aged 40. He had been an extremely successful fashion designer. Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner was an American magazine publisher. Hugh Hefner died of sepsis in 2017, aged 91. The infamous creator of Playboy magazine was an entrepreneur and resided in the notorious Playboy Mansion. He was the founder and editor-in-chief of Playboy magazine. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry was an American singer, guitarist, and songwriter who pioneered rock and roll. Chuck Berry died in 2017 of a heart attack, aged 90. Nicknamed the father of rock and roll, he refined and developed rhythm and blues into the major elements that made rock and roll distinctive with songs. Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder died in 2016, aged 83. He had complications of Alzheimer's disease. The prolific actor began acting in the 1960s and was also a writer and director. He was known mainly for his comedic roles, but also for his portrayal of Willy Wonka in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Donna Summer. Donna Summer was an American singer and songwriter. She gained prominence during the disco era of the 1970s and became known as the Queen of Disco. While her music gained a global following, she died of lung cancer in 2012, aged 63. Jane Russell. Jane Russell was an American actress. She was one of Hollywood's leading sex symbols in the 1940s and 1950s. She starred in more than 20 films. She was appearing in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, among others. Jane Russell died in 2011, aged 89. She died of a respiratory illness. Mac Miller. Mac Miller was an American rapper and record producer. Miller began his career in Pittsburgh's hip-hop scene in 2007, at the age of 15. The rapper and producer had success from a young age, but had a history of substance abuse. He died in 2018 of an accidental overdose, aged 26. Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers was an American comedian, actress, producer, writer, and television host. She died in 2014, aged 81. She died from brain damage from lack of oxygen. The comedian was initially undergoing a minor procedure and never awakened. She is considered a pioneer of women in comedy. She received an Emmy Award and a Grammy Award, as well as nomination for a Tony Award. Tom Petty. Tom Petty was an American musician. He was the leader of the rock bands Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Mudcrutch. The lead singer of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the band was active for over 40 years. He died from an accidental drug overdose in 2017, aged 66. Petty was also a member of the late 1980s supergroup The Traveling Wilburys and had success as a solo artist. Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was an American actor, considered a sex symbol and icon of 1970s American popular culture. He died of a heart attack in 2018, aged 82. A legendary actor, he had a huge profile as a film star. Reynolds first rose to prominence when he starred in television series such as Gunsmoke, Hawk, and Dan August. His most successful era was the 1970s and 80s. Stan Lee. Stan Lee was an American comic book writer, editor, publisher, and producer. He died of a heart attack in 2018, aged 95. He was a writer and creator of comics at Marvel, including seminal characters Spider-Man, X-Men, and Iron Man. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was an American professional boxer and activist. Nicknamed the Greatest, he is regarded as one of the most significant sports figures of the 20th century, and is often regarded as the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. He died in 2016, aged 74. He died from septic shock. The controversial and often outspoken boxer lived for over 3 decades with Parkinson's disease. Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author who, at the time of his death, was director of research at the Centre for Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge. He died in 2018, aged 76. The physicist and author was universally respected for his brilliant mind and courage. Prince. Prince Rogers Nelson was an American singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer. The recipient of numerous awards and nominations, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest musicians of his generation. He died in 2016, aged 57. He died from an accidental overdose. He is best remembered for his huge musical successes, including Purple Rain. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid activist and politician who served as the first president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He died in 2013, aged 95. The former South African president's commitment to peace made him one of the most widely admired figures in history. Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was an American astronaut and aeronautical engineer who in 1969 became the first person to walk on the moon. He died from complications related to coronary disease in 2012, aged 82. He was also a naval aviator, test pilot, and university professor. Bernardo Bertolucci. Bernardo Bertolucci was an Italian film director and screenwriter with a career that spanned 50 years. He died of lung cancer in 2018, aged 77. The Italian film director was best known for his 1972 film Last Tango in Paris. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was an American business magnate, inventor, and investor. He died in 2011, aged 56. He fell into respiratory arrest due to a cancerous tumor. He was the CEO and co-founder of Apple. A film was made in his memory. Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder was a Canadian-American actress whose career spanned 5 decades. Her accolades include 3 Canadian Screen Awards and 1 Daytime Emmy Award. She unfortunately committed suicide in 2018, aged 69. She was best known for playing Lois Lane in the 1970s Superman films, alongside Christopher Reeve. Maureen OHara. Maureen OHara was an Irish-born naturalized American actress and singer who became successful in Hollywood from the 1940s through to the 1960s. She died of natural causes in 2015, aged 95. She was one of the last living stars from the golden age of Hollywood. Joan Fontaine. Joan Fontaine was a British actress who is best known for her starring roles in Hollywood films during the Golden Age. Fontaine appeared in more than 45 films in a career that spanned 5 decades. She died of natural causes in 2013, aged 96. She had begun her career in the 1930s. Peter O'Toole. Peter O'Toole was an English stage and film actor. He attended the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and began working in the theatre. He died of stomach cancer in 2013, aged 81. He will be best remembered for his numerous acting roles, especially in Lawrence of Arabia. Keith Flint. Keith Flint died in 2019, aged 49. He committed suicide. He was the lead singer of the band Prodigy, who had great international success for over 2 decades. He became the lead vocalist and performed on the group's 2 UK #1 singles, First Starter and Breathe, both released in 1996. B.B. King. B.B. King was an American blues guitarist, singer, songwriter, and record producer. He died in 2015, aged 89. He had vascular dementia. He was one of the most prolific and influential blues musicians of all time. George Michael. George Michael was an English singer-songwriter and record producer. He is one of the best-selling musicians of all time, with his sales estimated at between over 100 million and 125 million records worldwide. He died in 2016, aged 53, of dilated cardiomyopathy. Kate Spade. Kate Spade was yet another star who died in 2018 from suicide, aged 55. Kate Spade is an American luxury fashion house founded in January 1993 by Kate and Andy Spade. Glenn Headley. Glenn Headley died in 2017, aged 62. She died from a pulmonary embolism. She is best known for her roles in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and Ms. Holland's Opus. She received a Theatre World Award and 4 Joseph Jefferson Awards, and was nominated for 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. James Gandolfini. James Gandolfini died of a heart attack in 2013, aged 51. He was most famous for his role as Tony Soprano in the TV show The Sopranos, the Italian-American mafia crime boss. For this role, he won 3 Emmy Awards, 5 Screen Actors Guild Awards, and 1 Golden Globe Award. Robin Gibb. Robin Gibb was a British singer and songwriter. He died from liver and kidney failure in 2012, aged 62. He was a member of the band The Bee Gees, who were phenomenally successful in the 1970s. Corey Monteith. Corey Monteith was a Canadian actor and musician. Corey died in 2013, aged 31. He died of a heroin and alcohol overdose. He had struggled with addictions over the years and found great success with Lee. He made his acting debut in the television series Stargate Atlantis and had other roles in shows including Smallville and Supernatural. Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy was an American actor, famed for playing Spock in the Star Trek franchise for almost 50 years. Leonard Nimoy died in 2015, age 83. He died from complications of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. He had a prolific acting career, but will always be remembered as Miss Spock from Star Trek. Roger Moore. Roger Moore was an English actor. He died of prostate cancer in 2017, aged 89. He was the 3rd actor to portray fictional secret agent James Bond film series, playing the character in 7 feature films between 1973 and 1985. Mary Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore was an American actress, producer, and social advocate. She died from cardiopulmonary arrest in 2017, age 80. She had her own sitcom in the 1970s, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, which helped define a new vision of American womanhood. Lou Reed. Lou Reed was an American musician and songwriter. Reed died of liver disease in 2013, aged 71. He was the guitarist, singer, and principal songwriter for the rock band, The Velvet Underground, and had a solo career that spanned 5 decades. Dolores ORourke. Dolores ORourke was an Irish singer, musician, and songwriter. She died in 2018, aged 46. She died from drowning due to alcohol intoxication. She was the lead singer of the very successful band, The Cranberries. Michael Clarke Duncan. Michael Clarke Duncan was an American actor. He died in 2012, aged 54, of a heart attack. He was best known for his tragic portrayal of John Coffey in the 1999 film The Green Mile, for which he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and other honors, and for playing Kingpin in Daredevil and Spider-Man, the new animated series. Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper was an American actor, director, and photographer. He attended the Actors Studio, made his first television appearance in 1954, and soon after appeared in two of the films that made James Dean famous, Rebel Without a Cause and Giant, as well as Gunfight at the OToole. Dennis Hopper died in 2010, aged 74. Pete Postlethwaite. Pete Postlethwaite was an English actor best known for his work as a character actor. He died in 2011, aged 64. He had pancreatic cancer. A veteran of the stage and screen, his acting career lasted for over 35 years. Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney died from natural causes in 2014, aged 93. He started acting as a child, so his acting career lasted a phenomenal 88 years. He was one of the last surviving actors from the silent film era.